How many blocks do you need to beat the final boss of Calamity? This is a question that has plagued me for well over a year at this point, and after countless hours of research on the wikis, testing mechanics in-game, and even developing some incredibly niche strategies never before seen on YouTube, I think I finally have an answer. 1. This single block of Infernal Suavite with a highly unstable Hellforge on top is all you need to make it to Supreme Calamitas. But how exactly am I going to get there? The first thing you'll notice is that the Hellforge breaks as soon as I enter the world. The one block that remains cannot be broken with my copper pickaxe, and has no special properties that will help out in the early game. You may be wondering how I can actually make any progress then. The key item that makes all of this possible is the starter bag. Calamity grants this to all new players, and contained within it are some basic early game weapons for each class, an assortment of potions, a mana crystal, a handful of bombs, torches and chests, and most importantly, 50 rope. With this rope, I can pillar upwards until the singular block of Infernal Suavite is off screen, allowing mobs to very slowly spawn on top of it.
This is going to be an expert death playthrough, which could be fun.
Slimes immediately jump into the void below upon spawning, making it incredibly difficult to collect their drops. This is a problem I'll have to solve a little later, but for now I'm happy to take down any Wolfram enemies that spawn for the scrap they drop. Most recipes that use this need an anvil, and of the 3 that can be made by hand, 2 of them are uniquely useless in a world with only one block, those being the Wolfram Digging Turtle and the Wolfram Treasure Pinger. The last of the 3, Wolfram Knives, are much more useful, and I'll want to gather quite a few of them before moving on to the next step of my plan. I only managed to get 2 Wolfram Scrap before nightfall, after which the only enemies that can spawn are zombies and demon eyes. Aside from money, these don't offer much. Some zombie variants drop additional arrows and torches though, along with my first accessory and pet of the run.
Oh, I got a shackle. Brilliant, an extra 3 defense. And we have a pet as well.
Once the night ends, I spend the entirety of day 2 building up my Wolfram scrap supply, ending the day with a total of 10. Then after grinding zombies through the night, I start day 3 by bridging out to the left with my 50 rope. The aim here is to get far enough away that slimes can spawn on the one block I have. Then if they jump towards me, I can dive into the void after them to get their drops. I'm not just looking to get some gel though. What I really want is the 1 in 20 chance that a slime can spawn with a bonus item inside it. And more specifically, I want that bonus item to be one of the 8 basic pre-hard mode ores.
Nothing in that one.
Getting a slime with a bonus item is the easy part. All that takes is time. The real challenge is actually collecting the drops.
Oh, there's rope in that one. I'm actually going to go for that. Oh, I'm quite far behind it. So I need to kind of match the speed and then manage to take it out and hope I can collect it. I did. So I've got 28 extra rope now, which is helpful, but actually not what I was after. What I was after was the ore. But it's proof that this does work.
For the next few hours, this is exactly how the playthrough goes. Through the day I wait for slimes to spawn, and at night I take down zombies and demon eyes for some easy money.
Has that got anything? Nope, nothing. It's got nothing in it. No, nothing in it. Nothing in that one. Nothing in that one either. Nothing in that. Nothing in that. And nothing in that. Nothing in that slime. And nothing in that one. There we go. First gold of the playthrough. Let's get it placed down to save it. Nothing in that slime. Unfortunate. Oh, and nothing in that one either. Oh, is that is ore. Okay. Alright, hopefully I can actually collect this. Oh, I didn't collect it. That is so painful. And it's back to waiting.
As you can see, even if I get a slime to spawn with ore, there's no assurances that I'll actually be able to collect it. And that's with Wolfram Knives, which by a massive stroke of luck are almost perfectly suited to this task. With the speed slimes fall at, you need a weapon with a high enough velocity to be able to hit them on the way down. And since you're mostly falling through the cavern layer where there's complete darkness, it's almost required that your weapon gives off light so you can actually see what you're aiming at. Thankfully, the Wolfram Knives do both of these excellently.
The funny thing to do would be to collect that and then just instantly use it to teleport home instead of saving and exiting.
Sadly, no matter how good my weapon is, it doesn't change the fact that ore is only a 1 in 80 chance from any given slime that spawns. So for now, all I can do is wait.
What have we got? Anything in that? Nope, nothing in that. Nothing in that slime. Does that have... That has something in it.
Here in Parkour Civilization, no one chooses to jump for the slime. It's better to be safe and climb the rope for zombies rather than risk your entire life just for a few more blocks.
Okay, come on. Oh, I managed to get it, 710 ore. That is huge. Huge, huge, huge.
With my first set of blocks obtained, I can finally make some real progress. So far, I've only scratched the surface of what's possible, and to get any further, I'll have to go deeper. Thanks to the single shine potion from the starter bag, I safely make it to the caverns where I set up a mini mob farm. It doesn't take long for a skeleton merchant to spawn, who I happily buy more rope from. I didn't come all this way for rope though. My true aim is to get a full set of mining armour from undead miners. That may seem a bit counterintuitive in a skyblock where there's very little to mine, but trust me when I say it's without a doubt the most important armour set in this entire run. I'll let you have a think about why that is while I slowly grind my way through enemies in the cavern, gradually getting better weapons, new accessories, and even some extra ore blocks.
This slime has iron ore. Let's see how many we get. 4. That's a really disappointing amount to be honest, but I can expand this a little bit.
After some more time spent farming with the extra blocks, I was beginning to get a little worried that undead miners couldn't spawn on ores. But after a full 2 hours in the caverns, I finally get one to spawn.
Oh, we got an undead miner. That's big. Let's use the rally on him. And I got some mining pants. That's actually the best one I could have got because it's the one thing I've not got equipped at this point. Okay, so good to know that that's possible because that is also necessary.
Now that I know it's at least possible, it's just a case of waiting for more of them.
Was there some ore in there? Yes, a platinum ore. 13! Wow! That is huge. Let's expand.
The 13 platinum ore massively speeds up the rate at which mobs can spawn, with the mining shirt dropping a mere 4 minutes after expanding the cage.
And I got a mining shirt. Very nice. All I need now is the helmet.
Unfortunately, the mining helmet has a lower drop rate at just 1 in 20 compared to 1 in 10 for the shirt and pants. Even still, it doesn't take too long for one to drop.
Oh, that's something. What is that? Was that coins or ore? Mining helmet? When did that drop? That's big. Okay, so let's zoom in for the tech. I have a full set of mining armor. I have 1 iron ore in my inventory. I place the iron ore down. I mine it. Place it down. I mine it. Place it down. I mine it. 2 iron ore. I place them down. I mine them. Place them down. I mine them. 3 iron ore. Calamity adds a set bonus to mining armor where it sometimes gives an additional ore. So I now no longer have to fight slimes for 5 hours to get blocks. I can just mine ores and get more ores. Now do you get to mine ores for 5 hours instead? Exactly what I get to do.
To be a little more specific, the Calamity set bonus gives a 25% chance for an additional ore to drop when mined. And while it states on the wiki that there's meant to be a random 3 to 6 second cooldown, this thankfully doesn't seem to be the case in game, allowing me to very quickly increase the number of blocks at my disposal. This new influx of blocks allows me to set up another farm in the underworld for some much needed upgrades. First on that list is the Bladecrest Oath Sword, which fires a spread of scythes that home into enemies and travel through blocks, making it the perfect early game weapon to safely farm enemies. With the Oath Sword in hand, it becomes much easier to obtain my next upgrade, the Old Lord Claymore. This may seem like a pretty normal sword at first, albeit with a custom swing animation, However, when right-clicking, it charges a powerful dash that spawns homing stars and propels the player towards their cursor, damaging any enemies in their path and granting iframes. It's pretty much my only form of mobility in the early game, though it's not as if there's much world to move around in. Now that I have a way to generate blocks on demand and the best weapons I can get my hands on, the next major milestone will be obtaining a workbench. And despite all the different workbenches available in both Calamity and Vanilla, there's only one possible option I can go for, and for that I'll need to defeat King Slime. Thanks to how predictable his AI is, I'm already prepared enough to fight him. The issue then, is getting him to spawn in the first place. Since I don't have a demon altar, I can't craft his summon item, and since I don't have any grass, I'm not going to get any random spawns on the outer thirds of the world. This leaves only one possible way to summon and fight King Slime, the Slime Rain. With at least 140 health and 8 defense, this has a 12% chance of happening each day between 4:30am and midday. However, I don't have 140 health, so I have to fall back on the much smaller 2.4% chance in expert mode and above. Only it's not quite 2.4% either, since Slime Rain can't occur when there's already normal rain occurring, taking the chances much closer to 2%. All that to say, I'm in for a lot of waiting. But while I wait, I may as well see what else is possible. And would you believe me if I said I could already get a Blood Moon? Usually, you'd require at least 120 health for a Blood Moon to occur, but there's actually a very easy way to circumvent this restriction. Death! Somehow I'm now 2 for 2 on designing Skyblocks where jumping to your death is a perfectly viable way to make progress. But there's no medium core or shimmer on this one, so what exactly am I doing? Well, what I hope to achieve from all this dying is to collect enough graves to form a graveyard, as these will very rarely spawn brides and grooms which have a 1 in 5 chance of dropping a bloody tear. Rather surprisingly, this does not require 120 health to use, and thanks to Calamity making event and boss summons non-consumable, I now have access to as many Blood Moons as I want. Death mode massively increases spawn rates during a Blood Moon, so it doesn't take long for me to get both the Shark Tooth necklace and a money trough. Of the two, I'd say the money trough is actually the more useful item, as up until now, my storage was restricted to the 3 wooden chests I got from the starter bag. The 5 armor penetration from the necklace is still nice though, and it marks the final accessory I wanted to obtain before fighting King Slime. From here, the only upgrades I can get are incredibly marginal and mostly consist of farming for the same accessories for slightly better reforges. And for the next 10 hours of gameplay, that's exactly what I do. During this time, one of my very talented viewers created a beautiful piece of art depicting the start of the run, which they very graciously allowed me to use for a stream background. As if that wasn't enough, they also tried to nudge fate in my favour by creating a gif of it with the slime rain occurring, so I just wanted to say a massive thank you to Donalds for that. At this point, it had been around 13 hours since I was ready for King Slime, and I had so thoroughly ran out of ways to optimise my setup that I resorted to the last thing I'd ever consider: building.
Building is going to be very limited with what blocks are available. So I do have access to all of the ores, and then I've got the gems for if I want little accents of colour. But that's kind of it in terms of building resources. And my plan for building is to create a scene from the start of the playthrough. That kind of looks like rope in the loosest sense. The rope here is made out of rope. It is indeed. Now we're gonna have to wait for day to see it in all its glory. I mean, if you like really squint your eyes, look at it on the minimap. Oh, it actually does look... Okay, yeah, that actually works. And this almost looks like rope as well. It's just this Infernal Suavite doesn't really look like Infernal Suavite. But I can see the wolf and drone. I think that is probably the best iteration we've had so far though. I don't think it looks as good with the Spelunker as it does with the map. I think the map makes it look better than the Spelunker does.
With the build complete and nothing else to do, it got to that part of every Chief Logan stream where after hours and hours of waiting with zero progress to show for it, chat and I collectively lose our sanity.
I had an entire mental breakdown where I contemplated my own hatred of myself while I was gone from the stream, and you still haven't got a slime rain yet. Yeah, I feel like I'm going to go down the same path. This looks a bit different now that I see it with the full lighting. I feel like it looks less like rope. Did a slime rain happen? You're like 2 minutes too early. Ask again in 2 minutes, and I'll say yes. The slime rain is all in our heads. The DSM-5 has been updated with a new diagnosis called slime rain under schizoaffective disorders. Slime rain isn't actually a thing in the game, it's a collective delusion that we've all made up. We're going to look back on this in a few years and think it's just one of those Mandela effects. Yeah, I remember when Terraria had a slime rain. What do you mean slime rain was never in the game? I swear, like, you would fight the slime rain, and if you killed enough slimes, king slime would come at you, and they're like, what is a king slime? There is no king slime in Terraria. There's no slime rain. The metal detector is doing its best. It's actually doing a great job, all things considered. It has detected all of the metal. If it's a metal detector, then why does it detect life fruits? Because life fruits are metal, I guess. So are we eating metal? Yes. This is rope, by the way. It's rope, don't get any other ideas. We did get a slime staff though. We may not have got the big slime, but we got a little guy. We have King Slime's son, and if he ever wants to see him again, you better come get him himself. Another slime staff. 2 slime staffs before my first slime rain. You must sacrifice a slime staff to the void. I can do that actually, yeah. If that will get me a slime rain, I will do it. I give a sacrifice for King Slime. And there's my own sacrifice as well. I sacrificed a slime staff and myself. No way it's actually raining. No. No. Because that's an entire day that I can't actually get slime rain. The sacrifice did not work. Everyone always asks when slime rain and never how slime rain. It's true. How does slime rain? Where are they coming from? The slimes are illegal to port them. Well, if they ever decide to try and rain in this world, I will make sure to deport them. We need to build a sky wall. Did the slimes fill out the right paperwork? Unlikely, unlikely. They've not even got hands. Guys, what's the politics of King Slime? Because he's technically like a monarchist, so what do you think his policies are in his kingdom? King Slime is a Tory. I could see it. I'm back, what's going on, chat? I have no idea.
Fearing what chat would devolve into after another 10 hours without progress, it was time to get a little more active with my waiting. You may recall a little earlier I said slime rains can only start between 4:30 and midday. Well, what if it could always be between 4:30 and midday? This is possible thanks to interdimensional time travel through the infinitely random multiverses of Terraria, also known as pressing Alt F4. With autosave turned off, this resets the world back to its last save point, allowing me to repeat the morning over and over again in an effort to Groundhog Day a slime rain into existence. Somewhat ironically, this ended up happening on the very first reset.
Oh, we've got it. Okay, let's get autosave on, and then I'm going to save and exit. We actually got it. On the second time travel as well. Well, technically the first time travel. Right, I'm going to create a backup of that world, just in case King Slime decides to mess around. Oh, we're going to make progress. We're actually going to make progress. Wait. Okay, yeah, there is still slime rain. I was so worried for a second there when I didn't see any slime falling from the sky. Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Now we just have to make sure that it's long enough to actually kill enough slimes. Should be very fast to kill 150 of them. This is the most excited anyone's ever been for a slime rain, I think. Yeah, and there's a lot of us excited as well. It's not just me. Oh, my heart is actually racing. I better not screw this up. Okay, we got him. Now we just do this, and we buff.
Calamity makes King Slime teleport more often, allows him to teleport mid-air if the player is above him, and always makes him teleport in front of the player if they're moving. Because of all this, as long as I keep moving left and right within this floating box of platinum ore, King Slime and his minions should never actually be able to hit me. Even the shots from his Ruby Jewel in Phase 2 can't travel through blocks, so the only real danger here is King Slime despawning, which is an annoyingly common occurrence that I can't really prevent, hence the world backup.
Please don't despawn. Please do not despawn. Once he gets really low, he starts moving really fast, and it becomes quite hard to hit him. Progress! Progress. We have the treasure bag. The main thing is the solidifier. I did get Slimy Saddle as well. That was quite rare. And Slimy Hook.
With the solidifier, I can now finally make some slime blocks and in turn, a slime workbench, unlocking the ability to craft many new items, construct housing for NPCs, and even set me on the path towards fishing. But to see all of that, you're going to have to subscribe to the channel and wait for the next episode. Unless of course you'd like to join my Patreon, where it will already be available as soon as this one is made public. Either way, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.